Good morning.
Mr. Holmes?
Yes. Has Sir Henry Baskerville arrived?
Yes, sir. He and the other gentlemen are here.
Good.
Sir Henry asked me to show you up at once when you arrived.
Good. Have you any objection to my looking at your register?
Not in the least, sir.
You scoundrel! It's a shame.
Sir Henry! Quickly!
Seems to be disturbed.
You'll find you're monkeying with the wrong man!
But, sir,
You're playing me for a sucker in this hotel.
mein lieber Herr.
Look, I'm paying for service here, and by heaven, I'll have it. Holmes, you're welcome, by thunder. Come in.
Thank you.
Oh, clear off.
Gentlemen, you're very early.
Dr. Mortimer, you and Sir Henry were followed from my rooms.
Followed?
Yes.
By whom?
That, unfortunately, is what I cannot tell you. However, I can assure you that your watcher is not staying at this hotel. Only 2 people have registered here after Sir Henry, and they are both ladies. Sir Henry, why are you clutching yet another of your boots?
Because they've taken another one. One of my old black boots this time.
An old black boot.
Mr. Holmes, you may think it's only a trifle, but if someone calls it a joke...
Joke? I don't call it a joke, Sir Henry. I take it very seriously. I don't think that of all the cases of capital importance that I have handled, there is one which cuts so deep. Are you firm in your intentions?
Oh, yes, I go to Baskerville.
On the whole, I think that your decision is a wise one. It's difficult to discover who your watchers are amid the millions of this great city, or to protect you adequately. It will be easier in a sparsely inhabited place. Dr. Mortimer, have you among your acquaintances on Dartmoor any man with a full black beard?
No.
Oh.
Wait a minute. Why, yes, Barrymore, Sir Charles Butler, has a full black beard.
Where's Barrymore now?
At Baskerville Hall.
We'd best ascertain if he's really there. Will you take one of these telegraph forms, address it to Barrymore at the Hall, and write... Is all ready for Sir Henry? That will do. Send another one to the local postmaster. Telegram for Mr. Barrymore to be delivered into his own hand. If absent, please return wire to Sir Henry Baskerville, Northumberland Hotel.
Very ingenious, Holmes. We shall know by evening if Barrymore is at the Hall or not.
This Barrymore, he and his wife have a mighty fine home and nothing to do as long as none of the family are at the home.
Did Barrymore profit in any way by Sir Charles's will?
He and his wife received £500 each.
Did they know they were to get that?
Oh, yes. Sir Charles was very fond of talking about the provisions of his will.
Interesting.
I trust you do not look with suspicious eyes on everyone who received a legacy from Sir Charles. I myself received £1,000.
How much did Sir Henry receive?
The residue?
£740,000.
Dear me, I had no idea so gigantic a sum was involved. That is a stake for which a man might well play a desperate game. One more question, Dr. Mortimer. Suppose that anything happened to our friend here. You will forgive the unpleasant hypothesis. Who would inherit the estate?
The estate would go to a distant cousin, one James Desmond, an elderly clergyman in Westmoreland.
No?
I've met him. He's a saintly man who I'm sure has never given a thought to any possibility of inheritance.
Well then, Sir Henry, go to Devonshire you shall, but I must make one provision. You must not go alone.
Well, Dr. Mortimer returns with me.
Dr. Mortimer has his practice to attend to, and his house is some miles from yours.
Well, could you not come yourself, Mr. Holmes?
If matters came to a crisis, I shall endeavour to be present in person, but just now it's impossible for me to be absent from London. One of the most revered names in England has been besmirched by a blackmailer, and only I can stop a disastrous scandal.
Well, whom would you recommend, then?
There is no man who is better worth having at your side when you're in a tight place, if my friend would undertake it.
Well, now that is real kind of you, Dr. Watson.
Well, I will come with pleasure. But what can I do?
You can report very carefully to me, and when the crisis comes, as it will, I will direct how you shall act.
It's my missing boot.
How singular. I searched his room carefully.
May all our difficulties vanish as easily. My dear Watson.
Oh, you've been thinking deeply, Holmes.
Oh?
Yes, my dear fellow. I infer that And the smell of shag tobacco. Usual methods, eh? I arrived at the street door just in time to accept his telegram.
Have just received confirmation that Barrymore is at the hall. Henry Baskerville. Our first thread leads us nowhere.
I found the cabman who drove the spies waiting on the landing.
Well done, Watson. Bring him in.
That's right. My colleague will see you now.
Oh, will he? Well, I want to see him. Why did he send to head office asking after 2704? This 7 years I've driven my cab and never a word of complaint. So here I am, to ask you to your face, what you have against me?
I have nothing in the world against you, my good man. On the contrary, I have a half sovereign for you if you'll give me a clear answer to my questions.
What was it you wanted to ask, sir?
First of all, your name and address.
John Clayton, Turpey Street, the Borough.
Now, Clayton, tell me all about the fare that's been watching this house from your cab and following certain gentlemen about.
The truth is, the gentleman told me that he was a detective and I was to say nothing about him to anyone.
When did he tell you this?
When he left me.
Did he say anything more?
He mentioned his name.
Oh, he mentioned his name, did he? That was imprudent of him. What was the name that he mentioned?
His name was Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
Ah, a touch, Watson, an undeniable touch. I feel a foil as quick and supple as my own. So his name was Sherlock Holmes, was it?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Tell me where you picked him up and all that occurred.
He hailed me yesterday at 9:30 in Trafalgar Square.
Yes?
He said he was a detective and he offered me 2 guineas if I would do whatever he wanted and ask no questions. We followed one gent that day and in with another today, from the Northumberland Hotel till he told me to pull up down the street from here.
To watch this house?
I don't know, sir. You have to ask my fare. Then the 2 gents came out and found another cab and we followed.
I know. You almost ran me down.
Well, my gentleman told me to drive to Waterloo Station as hard as I could go. I whipped up the mare and all of a sudden there you were in front of me.
What happened at Waterloo?
Well, he paid up his 2 guineas like I couldn't and he went off into the station. Only just as he was leaving, he turned round and said, "It might interest you to know that you've been driving Mr. Sherlock Holmes."
How would you describe this Mr. Sherlock Holmes?
What, you mean, 40 years of age? He was of a middle height, 2 or 3 inches shorter than you, sir. He was dressed like a toff, and he had a black beard, cut square at the end, and a pale face. I don't know as I could say more than that.
Is there nothing more you can remember?
No, sir, nothing.
Here's your half sovereign. Good night.
Good night. Thank you, sir.
Snap goes our second thread, and we end where we began. The cunning rascal. He knew that we were following him, conjectured we had the number of the cab and would trace the driver, and so sent back this audacious message. I tell you, Watson, this time we've met a foeman who's worthy of our steel. I can only wish you better luck in Devonshire, but I'm not easy in my mind.
About what?
About sending you. It's an ugly business, Watson. An ugly, dangerous business. The more I see of it, the less I like it.
Look upon the moor, gentlemen, and ask yourself if it is strange that many who live here believe that it is haunted by the devil's own hound.
Hello, what's this?
What is this, Perkins?
There's a convict escaped from Princeton, sir. Been out 3 days now. The waters have had no sight of him. The farmers about here don't like it, that's a fact.
Surely they can get £5 if they can give information.
Yes, sir, and they can get their throats cut. You see, sir, it's not like any ordinary convict. This man would stick at nothing. It's Selden, the Notting Hill murderer.
Baskerville Hall, gentlemen.
Welcome, Sir Henry. Welcome to Baskerville Hall.
Thank you. You are Barrymore and Mrs. Barrymore, I think.
Yes.
You won't mind if I drive straight home, Sir Henry?
We'll stay and have some dinner first.
No, I must go. There may be patients in need of me. Goodbye. And never hesitate day or night to send for me if I can be of service.
Thank you and goodbye now.
Are you ready, Perkins?
It's just as I imagined it. My people have been here for 500 years. And now it's mine.
Are the bedrooms to your liking, Sir Henry?
Yes, yes?
Oh, yes, yes. Mine's very comfortable.
Would you wish dinner to be served, sir?
As soon as you're ready.
In a very few minutes, sir. My wife and I will be happy to stay with you, sir, until you have made your fresh arrangements.
What? What fresh arrangements?
Sir Charles led a very retired life, sir, and we were able to look after his wants. You will naturally wish to have more company. This house will require a considerable staff.
Do you mean that you and your wife wish to leave?
Only when it is quite convenient to you, sir.
But your family has served ours for generations, have they not? Would you welcome me here by deserting me?
I feel the matter very deeply, sir, and so does my wife, but we were both very much attached to Sir Charles. His death gave us a shock and has made these surroundings painful to us. I fear we can never again be easy in our minds at Baskerville Hall.
What will you do?
We shall try to establish ourselves in some business. Sir Charles's generosity has given us the means to do so. I must see if dinner is ready. May I go now, sir?
Yes, go along.
I beg your pardon, sir.
No, my fault, my fault.
My word, it isn't a very cheerful place. Still, if it suits you, we'll retire early tonight and perhaps things will look better in the morning.
Morning, Mrs. Barrymore.
Morning, sir.
Mrs. Barrymore.
Yes, sir.
A fine morning. Are we due for a hot spell?
It can change from hour to hour on the moor, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Morning, Watson. I'm sorry I deserted you at breakfast this morning. I thought I should make an early start. Did you sleep well?
Not particularly so, Sir Henry.
Nor me. It's kind of eerie at first. The wind, the thought of that dark moor. And my uncle lived here alone. No wonder he lost his nerve. Still, give me 6 months and I shall flood the house with electric light. Yes. And put some 1,000-candle power lamps outside.
Do you hear someone sobbing in the night?
I fancied I heard something in my sleep. I thought it was a dream.
Oh, I was wide awake. I heard it distinctly. It was a woman weeping.
One moment. We'll get to the bottom of this.
You rang, sir?
Dr. Watson heard a woman weeping during the night. Did you hear anything?
No, sir.
Well, can you account for it?
No, sir. There are only 2 women in the house, sir. One is the new scullery maid who sleeps in the east wing. The other is my wife. And I can answer for it that the sound could not have come from her.
A late lunch, please, Barrymore.
Barrymore, there may be a letter for me. What time is the mail brought up?
Holly usually arrives with it at about 10 o'clock, sir.
Holly?
The postmaster at Grimpen, sir.
Ah, thank you, thank you.
You have to excuse me altogether this morning, Watson. I have a heap of estate papers to go through. What will you do with yourself?
I shall take a walk on the moor.
Telegram, a couple of days ago, our Boston Hall. Any idea who took delivery? No, sir. Dr. Watson! Dr. Watson, excuse my presumption. You may perhaps have heard my name from our mutual friend Mortimer. I'm Stapleton of Merripit House.
Your net and box told me as much, but how did you know me?
Well, I was at Mortimer's surgery when you passed through the village. He pointed you out to me.
Ah.
I trust that Sir Henry is none the worse for his journey.
Oh, he's very well, thank you.
We were all rather afraid that after the sad death of Sir Charles, the new baronet would refuse to live here. Of course, you know the legend of the fiendish hound that haunts the family.
I've heard it.
That story was the death of Sir Charles. Do you not think so?
I've not come to any conclusions.
And as Mr. Sherlock Holmes? Oh, dear. Is his interest a confidential matter? Dr. Mortimer told me that.
There was a simple consultation, nothing more. I am here to visit my friend, Sir Henry.
Well, perhaps I may show you some of our natural wonders while you're here.
Well, thank you.
We're very close to my little house. Would you care to come in for a cup of tea and to meet my sister?
I fear my time is limited. I will accompany you to your gate.
Very well.
Your home is isolated.
Yes, ideal for a naturalist. It's a wonderful place, the moor. You cannot think the secrets which it contains.
You know it well?
Well, I've only been here 2 years. We came shortly after Sir Charles settled, and the local people would say that I was a newcomer. But I have explored it as a naturalist, and I think I can say that no man knows it better than I do. Well, for instance, you see that expanse of patchy ground across yonder?
It would be a rare place for a gallop.
A gallop that would cost you your life. That's the great Grimpen Mire. A false step yonder means death to man or beast, drowned in fathomless liquid mud. And yet I can find my way to the very heart of it and return alive.
But why should you wish to go into so horrible a place?
It's unspoiled by man, and rich with natural specimens.
And what are those?
The homes of our worthy ancestors. Prehistoric man.
But some of them are patched up.
Yes, that's more recent. By George. Excuse me a moment, Dr. Watson.
Miss?
Go back. Go straight back to London instantly.
But,
For God's sake, do what I ask. Go back and never set foot upon the moor again.
But I've only just come.
Can you not tell when a warning is for your own good? Get away from this place at all costs. Hush, my brother is coming. Not a word of what I've said. Yes, we are very rich in orchids on the moor. Are we not, Jack?
Hello, Beryl. I was chasing a cyclopedes. I see you've introduced yourselves.
I just met Sir Henry. I was telling
Miss
him...
Stapleton, I am not Sir Henry Baskerville. I am a humble commoner and his friend. My name is Watson.
Oh, we have been talking at cross purposes.
Oh, how so?
I thought he was a resident. I was about to tell him the best time for the orchids.
Ah. Dr. Watson is coming our way, my dear, though I cannot tempt him in. Shall we walk on?
I am glad to have met you, Miss Stapleton.
Well, you must excuse me. I have much to do in the house.
You find the moor dull? I noticed your expression.
Oh, I was thinking your sister might feel so.
No, I assure you my sister is as devoted to nature as I am.
Great heavens. What was it?
The local people say it's the hound of the Baskervilles calling for its prey. I've heard it once or twice before, but never quite so loud.
Surely you can't believe such nonsense. What can it be?
Who knows? Freak of the wind among the rocks? The cry of a great bird. You've never heard a bittern booming?
Ah, they are extinct now, are they not?
Almost, in England. But I should not be surprised if what we have just heard was the cry of the last of the bitterns. As I was saying, we're never dull here. Do you think that I should intrude if I were to call upon Sir Henry?
Oh, I'm sure he'd be delighted.
Good.
But I must get back to the hall now. I am so glad to have met you, Mr. Stapleton. I wish you good day.
Good day, Dr. Watson. You must come as a guest next time.
I have run all the way to cut you off, Dr. Watson. I wanted to say to you how sorry I am about the stupid mistake I made in thinking you were Sir Henry. Oh, please forget the words I said.
But I can't forget them, Miss Stapleton. I am Sir Henry's friend. Why were you so eager that he should return to London?
A woman's whim, Dr. Watson. I cannot always give reasons for what I say or do.
No. I remember your voice. I remember the look in your eyes. Please, be frank with me.
You make too much of it, Dr. Watson. We knew Sir Charles very intimately. I was distressed when another member of the family came to live here. I felt he should be warned of the dangers which he will run.
You do not believe in this legend of the hound?
Oh, but I do. If you have any influence with Sir Henry, take him away from this fatal place. The world is wide. Why should he wish to live in the place of danger?
Because it is the place of danger. That is Sir Henry's nature. You must tell me something more definite if I am to get him to move.
I cannot.
Miss Stapleton, if you meant no more than this, why could you not tell me in front of your brother?
My brother is very anxious to have the hall inhabited for the good of the poor folk upon the moor. He would be very angry if he thought I had tried to induce Sir Henry to leave. Now, I must return before he misses me.
Furthermore, I learned from the postman this morning that he did not actually hand over our telegram to Barrymore, but to Mrs. Barrymore. Thus, Barrymore could have been the bearded man in London, and he lied when he said his wife had not been weeping.
What are you doing here, Barrymore?
Nothing, sir. I go around at night to make sure the shutters are closed.
Liar. Your wife just opened them. What were you doing at the window?
I meant no harm, sir.
Why were you showing the candle?
Don't ask me, Sir Henry. Don't ask me.
It was a signal. Someone's answering. Look.
Now, you rascal, speak up.
No, sir. No, please listen to me.
Who is your confederate out there?
What is this conspiracy? Answer me!